going through your head right now? It's so obvious when I walk in the room from all your faces. The surprise to see me still here.
When Tracy said that I saw the look on your faces and you guys were all surprised that I was here and it was horrible, and I was, shut up. That's not it. That's not it.
Hello and welcome back. We are continuing our podcast series, whatever you want to call it. Right now I'm reviewing Biggest Loser and I am continuing the next part. I break the episodes up into parts because they are very, very long. They're over an hour. And after the last one, I'm still upset. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I watched the last one. And I'm still upset about it. This one starts off where a blue team comes in after the elimination and the weigh-in and everything like that. And the black team sees Tracy walk in and oh my goodness. You could see that there was just tension. It was awkward. It was really awkward because people were like, oh my gosh, how is she still here? I really, really, really believe that she threw a little tantrum, and Mo, being the really nice person that he is as her teammate, put himself on the chopping block, as they say. And I was just so sad when he got eliminated. But it was a happy ending because he is doing really well later on. And, we'll see him at the finale. But still, I just was upset because this is their chance to get rid of her because she's been very, very toxic and she's a game player for sure. But I do see her side. Like I've said before, she can't work out. She's sicker than them and she has disadvantages. So she has to go for every advantage that she can go. It's just the way she goes about it really gets under my skin, under my nails, So yeah, everyone is very shocked that she's still there. And she ends up starting to cry. And I know I felt the awkwardness. So I can't imagine being in that room with them and feeling those stares and just the silence. And she was just upset because she said the look on their faces that she was still there was heartbreaking. And I get it because you want to be friends with these people, right? No one ever wants to be the outcast. No one ever wants to be shunned or bullied or anything like that. But just everything she does feels so two-faced, So two-faced, like it's just a game to her. She doesn't consider people's feelings. I mean, just see how she picked the teams in the previous episode. See how she played the game. It's very, very, unempathetic on her part. And then she expects a lot of empathy back and love back. So I don't know, just that part got to me. But we're going to move on from that. They do have this challenge, and usually the challenge is later in the episode, in the middle of the episode, around that time. But this time it was right towards the beginning, and that's because there's a little twist. So this challenge, they're on the beach, and they have to dig in the sand, these sand piles, really deep actually. And they have to find these giant, I think they're chests or something. They're very heavy, and there's like keys, and you have to get the keys. But if everyone gets their key, they are able to unlock their official treasure chest or whatever you call it and get their prize. But you know what the prize is yet. And right off the bat, you can see this is a very physically demanding challenge. I usually don't comment on the challenges just because, there's not much to talk about. But this one was very physically demanding. You have to dig. These people were sweating so much that water was just dripping off their face. And it's nighttime, for the West Coast, the ocean is usually cold at night. Even in the summer, it's usually pretty cold. So the fact that they're sweating like this, it shows how demanding this actually is. And they're really, really working hard. And, just walking in the beach, in the sand, is really taxing. I can't imagine digging in it, moving around in it, lifting this heavy box out. It's definitely a lot. And once again, I hate to say this, but this seems unfair. I don't like to say unfair too much because things have been proven wrong before. If you're really strong, you can surpass, even if you're a woman, you can surpass a man that isn't as strong as you, right? So it can level out the playing field. But this particular challenge, they needed the strongest, biggest people to go quickly and win. And lo and behold, Tracy's team, Tracy picked, of course, the biggest, strongest people for her team. They won, of course. Let's see what they win.
We did it.
What is it?
Becca, unlock her lock.
What is it?
Blue team, opening their box. What did they get? We're going home.
You're going home, guys?
Blue team with tickets home. And, the black team was not happy. They were upset and bummed out. And they found out that their prize was actually tickets to an airplane back home. That's a big, big thing to go back home. And it's been, they said, 6 weeks since they've seen their family, which is crazy. Gosh. I don't think I've ever been away from my kids more than one day, thinking about it now. And the thought of being away from them for 6 weeks is painful, painful, painful. And being away from my husband and my family, it's just a painful thought, but they're doing it for their health at the end of the day. But the risk of this is they're not going to have their trainers. They're not going to have the gym. They're not going to be at the ranch. In Biggest Loser, they have this ranch, and they have a gym, and they have hiking trails, and they have a whole kitchen where they can prepare healthy meals. They have access to all these meals. And the other thing is they don't have the pressures of their daily lives on them. They don't have their family around them. They don't have their kids asking a million questions or whining or fighting or anything like that. They're just at the ranch. It's kind of like a vacation in its own way. Yes, it's hard because you have to work out. The working out can actually be invigorating. It can be therapeutic as well, especially walking and swimming, hiking as well. But that's the hard part, is the working out. But other than that, they're getting a long-term vacation. They're getting access to healthy foods. They're losing weight. It's a great thing. So when the blue team gets this and they tell the blue team, they have the option to give their tickets to the black team. And this would give them an advantage because they'd stay back at the ranch and have all of this freedom, and they'd have their trainers pushing them. And then the team would have to go home and risk viewing normal life, all of those risks that come with it. Because if we remember, going home, there's eating out, there's your family, there's stress, daily life, there's finding access to a gym or working out, all of these things that is just pitted against them. So the blue team, at the end of the day, they obviously chose to give their tickets to the black team to go to their family, which the black team seemed pretty happy with that because they get a break. But it's a risky break. Daniel is the contestant that was in the last season, actually, season 7. Early on in the season, he got voted out. And he already knows what's coming. He knows what it's like to go back home after being on the Biggest Loser ranch, right? So he knows the risk that's coming, and he's pretty worried about it legitimately. But they all go back home. And what was really nice and just kind of touched me was just their family. Whenever they meet with their family again, it's really touching. The tears, the emotions. What got my attention was that they were noticing changes already. It's been 6 weeks, but they saw a lot of changes, not only just physically, their weight loss, but they were seeing that they were different. They were more confident. They were more energetic, more motivated, and just happier overall, because losing weight does decrease depression. It does improve your mood. It's not going to get rid of it completely. There's always going to be demotivational days or just days where you just don't feel like doing anything, but it really helps you to bring a spark back to your life, right? So yeah, I liked how they noticed that. Some families, however, don't like the changes. Let's be honest. We've seen that in previous seasons, and we've seen that in Dr. Now, My 600-Pound Life, where a partner will see them losing weight and they'll see them changing and they'll be upset about it because they don't want them to change. They've had this dynamic in their relationship or their marriage for so long, where they depended on each other or they would eat out together, and suddenly everything's changed and it's different. And I do see that part of it. It's true. Change is hard and you get used to a routine and you don't want to change sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's a good change and they are changing for the better. And if you really loved your family member, friend, or partner, you would encourage them to make these changes and you would be rooting for them. And if you do have insecurities about it, you could talk it out with them in a positive way and try not to be negative is what I'm saying. But some of these people, they fight and they fight hard. After the black team is reunited with their families, they do end up talking to each family.
There was a challenge just last night and the blue team won.
And the other team got to choose to send us home or send themselves home.
And so they sent my team home.
Because they want me to lose the weight and they want me not to lose very much weight.
So I have to make sure that I work hard because I don't want to lose the next weigh-in.
Basically, they talk to their family and they tell them what happened with the challenge and that the blue team basically sent them home so that they could fail. So they're pleading basically with their family to please support them this week and not tempt them, not let them give in to bad foods, and let them have access to their gym or their workouts. And really, this little speech they do, they should be doing this anytime they go home, not just because of this 1 week, because of this challenge, but anytime they go home. They have to always demand support. But basically, it's just going through what the black team's going through, showing what they are going up against. Meanwhile, Bob, the blue team's trainer, is pushing them so much back at the gym. It shows them, and he's like, I'm going to make these workouts like the last chance workouts, but every day. That's just got to be asking for soreness, right? But they're taking advantage of the situation. They've got the gym to themselves. They got all of the ranch to themselves, and they are pushing and they are going for it. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens at the weigh-in, right? Jillian's worried about her black team, and she gives them a call and she checks in on them and tells them, you guys got to work extra hard. There are so many risks. Jillian even mentioned that traveling on an airplane can cause you to retain water, which is crazy to think about. And she said, you got to be better with your calories. You got to be really strict and you got to get your workouts in. Otherwise, might even see a gain on the scale, not just maintenance. You might see a gain. Another thing I noticed that kind of irritated me was, I'm really bad with names, but the one girl from the black team that has a problem jumping on the stool and down on the stool, she went to work out and her son was with her. Her son's sitting there and she was stressed out because she had to bring her son and her husband couldn't take her son. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. What did he do previously all this time while you were at the ranch? He obviously took care of the son, right? So why can't he take care of the son for 1 hour a day to let you work out? But we don't know. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours. The workouts they do are very long with this show. But the other thing is, now that she's home, maybe he went back to work because maybe he's on like a leave and he's taking care of the son and he had to go back to work. That's the only thing I could see that would make this make sense. Because otherwise, if he is just giving the kid to her because she's back and she's the female or whatever, that is kind of irritating to me. And that is not a supportive partner, right? But who knows? We don't know the whole story. Like I said, it could be anything. Meanwhile, Shay is struggling to get her workouts in. She's going to the gym as well, but it's a local gym in her area. So it's a new gym and it's pretty crowded. And she talks about how hard it is to work out in a gym that's really crowded because at her size, she's one of the biggest contestants on the show.
Walking into this gym at home, you don't feel like people understand you. If you walk into a gym as a bigger person, people automatically stare at you like, what are you doing here? And you don't feel comfortable. It is just another one of the huge obstacles that I'm going to have to overcome.
And at her size, she says people stare at her and they look at her as though they're saying, why is she even here? Why is she even trying? And it's really depressing for her and it takes away her motivation. But, 8 times out of 10 at a gym, people aren't staring at you. They're focusing on themselves. There's always the two times out of 10 where they are looking at you and they are judging you. I know people judge because that's just how humans are, especially if they see someone who looks a little different. Disabled people too. People will always judge, but usually they will keep it in their mind and they won't say anything and they'll mind their own business. And that's just what you've got to focus on in any gym or in any case. Let them stare, whatever. If they take it further, then that's a problem. But, staring is staring. Just think about you. It's focusing on you and not them at the end of the day. So I'm really hoping Shade does well this week. I'm worried for her. And I'm worried for the whole black team. At the end of the episode, they all have a moment where they're practicing eating out. Except for Dan, who is not Daniel. They have very similar name. Dan stays with his family and they do this barbecue at home, which I thought was really nice. And you had healthy options and that was great. But at some point you are going to have to face dining out, whether it's work or with your family or an anniversary or a party or something like that. And they do show them eating out and it's rough. I mean, Shay is upset because her husband orders the same thing as always. And it's probably a trigger food for her, just the smell of it, because she's been there so many times and it reminds her of what she usually gets. And it's just being in that environment and all the smells, it's tough. I can't even imagine what they went through, but they all were pretty strong. They got grilled chicken. They made sure to tell the waitress, because the waitress is the one that tells the chef everything. They said it's very important to tell the waitress your preferences on how it's cooked. Grilled chicken, no oils, dry, just dry, no liquid of any kind, which I'm sure sounds very odd to the waitress and to the cook who hears it. But there are people out there who eat like this. There are people out there who have very serious illnesses and they have to eat like this. So it's important for restaurants to know this as well and practice this. I'm sure it's not easy, or maybe it is easy because they don't have to add as many ingredients, right? Who knows? Shay was upset because her meal came and it was grilled. It didn't look fried or anything like that, but there was this oily, watery substance in it. So they did it as healthy as possible, but they still used oil, I guess, for like non-stick purposes. But she was talking about how she's got to send it back. And unfortunately, sometimes that's what you got to do, especially if you're really committed to a diet, right? But I'm going to go ahead and end it here because it's getting pretty long. I'm really rooting for the black team. I always root for the underdogs, whether it's the black team, the red team, the blue team, whichever team. They are definitely the underdogs again. Jillian's team always seems to become the underdogs, and I don't know why. It just kind of works out that way. But I'm rooting for them, and I'm really hoping they make it. And we'll see at the weigh-in. Blue team's going to be probably big numbers this week, just because last week they were the ones that had bad numbers. And sometimes when it comes to losing weight, you have good weeks and then you have bad weeks and then you go back to a good week. Or sometimes you have a couple bad weeks and then you have a couple good weeks. And so we can't say for sure, but I'll see what happens in the next part. So I hope you all are having a good day and get a small baby step in that is healthy and get a nice walk in or workout and just keep going towards your goals. Happy goal getting. Have a great day.